you around. And this is we have a guest restroom because for some folks they're transient homes.
Yeah.
These are in the staff room. And then we have a for the
Computer.
program participants if they want to do resumes. This is a guest office. Now we use this for hepatitis testing and HIV testing and some of the other, we'll tell you a little bit more about some of our collaborations, and so that happened. We just have, it's an empty space.
Yeah.
This is Jennifer's office. Jennifer is a project assistant and a welcoming face.
Right.
We have a lot of donations coming our way,
Yeah.
I guess, so we have a
What we
storage
do, we
area
bring
for.
all our
Can you
donations
open?
out. Yeah, Jen comes. Jen, could you give me the key for this? Yeah, sure. And we take stuff out, and go through it and make sure it's, appropriate to give away. So she goes through it, lines it up, stacks it up, and so we can give them a feeling of shopping, and we're just not throwing clothes
Oh,
out.
yes.
So they can come through and pick out what they want, whatever they want, and we bag it up and let them take it.
Right.
Yeah, we all gather donations from friends and family and our faith communities, churches, and people are always donating, so we have a lot. This is just, a little tech center.
Yep. Great.
So this was pretty banged up, this space, but we didn't want to paint it any dingy color, so we like this nice blue we just
Yeah,
painted.
it's nice.
So this is one of the outreach specialists.
What was it before? What was the building
Oh,
before?
it's an old banged up factory.
Factory, was it?
Yeah, these areas were, part of why the neighborhoods are so low income is that there was a complete emptying of factories in the manufacturing base in the 80s and 90s. Philadelphia lost 450,000 jobs. So formerly stable working class communities were really decimated by low employment or unemployment as the jobs moved overseas.
Was that when America stopped being a manufacturing country?
Activities happen and tables are usually turned this way. We also, serve meals and they have a movie day and groups. Charlie's the case manager.
Hello, how are you, sir?
This is
How are you?
This is Winfred and Jennifer. I don't think you met Charlie. He's a new
Hi, I'm from the
case
Department of Behavioral
manager.
Health.
Yes. So this is where the individual session is.
Yes.
Nice to meet you too.
Oh, this looks
How are you
great.
doing? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Hiya.
So this isn't
She does the
it's
phone.
no longer a federal project, but we have adapted the GIPRA so that we can still capture what we think is really important data.
So who finances this then?
This was at the end of the federal funding, the City of Philadelphia Department of Behavioral Health assumed funding for the operations of the New Pathways project, which is, I'm really not able to really verbalize my appreciation of that.
Right. Hello. How are you? Wow.
So
How are you,
this
boys?
is Nan's office. Nan's the supervisor of the project.
Right.
It's a very spacious site.
Yes, the headroom, isn't it? It's high headroom.
We have a street outreach team that goes out into the community. Like Shelley can talk a little bit about that. Sometimes in this project partners with a case manager. And the street outreach happens both in individual street encounters, but also in group level, in group venues, for example, in men's shelters.
Right.
And in feeding kitchens. So we engage with folks one-on-one and also in a group setting.
Right.
The outreach specialists, a number of whom on our staff are folks in long-term recovery themselves. So in the engagement on the street, it's a very low key. We distribute, condoms and other HIV/AIDS prevention materials and talk about safer sex and harm reduction, basic harm reduction. And then invite folks to come back into, and this is true for both projects, into the programs to meet with case managers. So that's the second intervention. It's an individual level intervention. So that happens one-on-one. The overall sort of theoretical framework of that is motivational interviewing. We are working to have staff increasingly more trained about the effects of trauma and the way that the relationship that has to people's use of drugs, and integrate that sort of learning into our sessions to help people in the individual sessions understand and maybe think about their use of drugs as an adaptation rather than a symptom and a pathology.
Okay.
So that's our sort of trauma-informed, strength-based perspective. It's really in alignment with the recovery-oriented systems of care and the system transformation currently underway. So that's the individual level. Those case management sessions are open-ended. People can come back as much as they want. And we also are working to get everyone here to be certified HIV counselors and testers.
Right.
So we really try to have a holistic wellness approach to our recovery support work here. And then there's a group level intervention that happens with the groups, and Lucy can talk about that.
Right.
And then the very special thing happening here is, well, there are many special things, but thanks, Nan, is the development of peers to form a group fellowship of people in recovery, the Pathfinders.